Folks, we appreciate you coming out today. We got a short program, and it's going to be Dr. Patty Van Hook is our presiding speaker. She's Associate Dean for Practice and Community Partnerships in the College of Nursing, and she wrote the grant for this facility. Dr. Van Hook.
Good morning, and thank you so much for coming. I've got just a little bit of housekeeping. Just want to tell you that each speaker is going to introduce the next speaker so we can keep things moving. We're very excited, and we want you to go inside and see what has happened here. Moves my heart. I want to welcome you and thank you for joining us today. On behalf of everyone at the Johnson City Community Health Center, we offer our deepest thanks for you being a part of this landmark event for us. It is truly an exciting day for East Tennessee State University and the College of Nursing and the College of Clinical and Rehabilitative Health Sciences. We promise not to keep you in your seats too long, so we're going to kind of move things right along. I do want you to know what the mission of our clinic is. And the mission of the clinic is to optimize health and reduce health disparities through provision of innovative and high-quality care and service in partnership with our patients, communities, and regional health and service agencies. Our vision is twofold: to deliver world-class quality health care that's accessible, affordable, outcome-driven, and to provide students with the best interprofessional clinical experience that is nationally renowned. Less than 24 hours from now, the people of this region who've come to rely on this clinic for expert, accessible, affordable, quality care without regard for socioeconomic status will walk through those doors as we open this new facility to our patients at 8 a.m. tomorrow. The Johnson City Downtown Clinic is the forerunner of this new center, a place that became a cornerstone for healthcare for underserved and disparate individuals over the course of over 2 decades. Since the inception of JCDC, tens of thousands of people have received primary care for more than 20 years. We are immensely pleased for our patients that we can now offer this care in a state-of-the-art facility, and we're very grateful to the U.S. Health Resources and Services Administration for funding our new home. It was necessary for us to seek a new home. Our clinic on Myrtle Street had definitely outgrown to meet the needs. The service demand has become very large in this area. The support of ETSU Academic Health Science Center led to our opportunity to collaborate with the College of Clinical and Rehabilitative Health Sciences to develop this integrated model of service delivery, one unique service delivery model that is unseen across the nation. The dream, the vision, the passion to serve is now a reality. And it's not just about the building itself. It is something intangible. This is ETSU's and the College of Nursing and all the Health Sciences Division commitment to serve the population of Northeast Tennessee. We work with the communities to identify and meet those needs. The ETSU commitment is how and why the Downtown Clinic got its start so many years ago. And it's also how and why this new Johnson City Community Health Center continues that lineage today. I'm very thankful and grateful to the hundreds of people and our community partners who over the years have supported and continue to support our mission. And my heartfelt thanks go out to all of you. Now I'm going to turn the podium over to Dr. Wendy Nearing. She is the Dean of our college. The program of speakers will continue, as I said earlier, but the speakers individually will give you a sense of the history, the present, the future, and the importance of this clinic. After a short program, we do invite you for refreshments and conversation, but we also want you to have a tour of our new facility. Dr. Nearing.
Thank you, Patty. You're going to hear some themes here. You've probably heard the African proverb, "It takes a village to raise a child." I would like to rephrase that proverb to read, "It takes a village to provide access to quality health care for all the people of a region." This gathering of people today is testimony to this village. I'm going to take you back 22 years to 1990. That is when the Johnson City Downtown Clinic started, in one room in the Salvation Army. And about a half an hour ago, a member of the Salvation Army came by and gave us a bouquet of roses. How symbolic is that? At that time, then Dean Cynthia Lenz and Associate Dean Joellen Edwards volunteered the College of Nursing to establish primary care services for the homeless in partnership with the Salvation Army, because no resources for this care could be identified in Washington County. On March 26, 1990, the clinic opened 2 days per week. In their first year, they had 453 visits, and the clinic population was soon expanded to include the uninsured of the county. Sue Reed was the nurse practitioner. Joellen recently shared with me that the Kellogg Foundation experience at ETSU helped to see this need and make it happen. In 3 years, the clinic was open for 3 days per week, and nursing students began to use the clinic for learning. The number of visits increased exponentially up to 2,300 in 1993. Such growth precipitated a move, and in 1995, the clinic moved to a larger space at 202 West Fairview Avenue. This site happened through a partnership with the Johnson City Medical Center, a partnership which continues to today. Federal funding from 1995 through 2000 helped provide support to continue to build the clinic and the additional staff. In 2005, the Johnson City Downtown Clinic became one of only 3 nurse-managed health centers in the nation to receive federally qualified health care funding and the first nurse-managed clinic affiliated with the College of Nursing. The author of this grant was Dr. Mary Kay Anderson, who now works at the College of Nursing at the University of New Mexico. This was also the year that the clinic expanded to a third site at 207 East Myrtle. The Day Center Clinic for the Homeless remained at 202 West Fairview Avenue and continues to serve this population today at this site and will continue to do so. As part of that grant in 2005, a governing board was initiated, with the governing board serving as a co-applicant. Chairs of this important board have included Sally Morris, Nora Lee, who will be speaking a little later, Sonia Horton, and Ron DeSeo. Each of these individuals has given tirelessly to this clinic. I also want to recognize Marcy Walker, a community leader who helped start the clinic and has been a strong advocate ever since. This support and my thanks also extends to the members of the governing board and the facility council for JCDC and now the JCCHC over the years, many of whom served for a number of years. There have also been a number of College of Nursing faculty who have given of their time to this clinic, and they include Amy Kaplan, Jean Hemphill, Dr. Carol McNee, who unfortunately lost her life too early, and Dr. Nancy Alley. We have many current and past faculty who have volunteered their time to this clinic, and many of them are here today. Dr. Joellen Edwards and Dr. Patricia Smith followed Dr. Lenz as deans of this college, and their leadership also graced the evolution of this clinic. We have further had executive directors who have left their marks on this clinic, and they include Dr. Mary Kay Anderson, Dr. Ron Barwick, Pat Coda, Dr. Patty Van Hook, and our current executive director, Richard Melke. Forming the foundation for the clinic are the staff that have given so much time to a cause they are passionate about, a service to the community. I extend my thanks to them. They include many physicians and other healthcare professionals who donate their time. Then there are the students who have had an opportunity to work in a setting that offers primary care to the community, a clinic that does not close its door to anyone, and a clinic that has staff that go the extra mile. One of those students will share his experiences with you in just a few moments. And of equal importance are our donors, many who have been quietly donating throughout the life of this clinic. These include Mountain States Health Alliance, the many churches that surround the clinic, city and county governments, and many, many more. Today we celebrate the grand opening of the 4th location of this tremendous clinic. The federal grant from HRSA that allowed us to build this amazing building occurred because Dr. Patty Van Hook asked a village of collaborators, including Dean Nancy Shearer, to assist her in the writing of this grant. This past year, the Johnson City Downtown Clinic had 15,637 patient encounters, and most health outcome indicators are at or above the state and national data. We are located conveniently to serve the city of Johnson City and the county in providing primary and expanded services to anyone who seeks care. We are poised to continue to offer affordable care and provide one-stop shopping. I am thrilled to partner with my friend Dean Shear and the faculty of the College of Clinical and Rehabilitative Health Sciences, as well as my colleagues in the Colleges of Medicine, Pharmacy, and Public Health, and the Departments of Psychology and Social Work as we provide a national model of interprofessional health care. I am grateful for the support of President Stanton and Nolan and Vice President for Health Affairs and Chief Operating Officer Dr. Bishop, as the College of Nursing has provided primary care to the citizens of this county for 22 years. We are the 5th oldest nurse-managed clinic affiliated with the College of Nursing in the nation, and our college has the highest number of nurse-managed clinic sites in the nation. I hope that I have given you a glimpse of the many faces of this clinic both yesterday and today. A village has been at work, and the promise for tomorrow is made brighter by the addition of this new expanded clinic. President Nolan often speaks of making dreams come true. This clinic, Dr. Nolan, is a dream come true for ETSU and the community. I invite all of you to see the clinic after these proceedings have concluded and to continue to support this clinic through your gifts and your presence as a patient. And I thank you for coming. It is now my pleasure to introduce our president, Dr. Brian Nolan.
Thank you all and good morning. It's truly a beautiful day. It's a day that we celebrate who we are as an institution. It's a day that we celebrate who we are as a community. And it's a day that we celebrate who we are as a region. East Tennessee State University is the thread that ties together the quilt of East Tennessee, a thread that often comes together to create a support network, a framework, or a net that for more than 20 years has served the citizens of this region, a net that when individuals are in a time of need for health care, at a point at which individuals may be at risk or a point at which you have nowhere else to turn, our citizens across the region have turned to ETSU, and they do so every day of the week. We're there for the region. We're there to ensure that the needs of the region are met. And through this facility, through the leadership of many in this room, legends not only of ETSU, but legends in their field, we're changing the future for the region. When you have the opportunity to go into the facility today, you will see all of the elements of our Academic Health Sciences Center. Under the leadership of the College of Nursing, we've brought together medicine, pharmacy, audiology and speech pathology, nutrition, dental hygiene in one location so that citizens from across our region, regardless of background, regardless of condition, have a place to come to ensure that their healthcare needs are met. And that place, just as it has been for 20 years and just as it'll be for the next 20 years, is East Tennessee State University. I want to thank you all for taking the time to be here, but I want to thank and acknowledge a couple of individuals who are with us and who have helped make this dream come true. First, we'd like to acknowledge Congressman Phil Rowe. Congressman Rowe, thank you for taking the time to be here and for all that you do for the region. And if you could just raise your hand and acknowledge for folks in the crowd, Representative Matthew Hill, who we'll hear from later today, Mayor Jeff Banyas, Bruce Behringer, who is here on behalf of Commissioner Dreisner, someone who, through his vision and passion, helped to provide a foundation for this work. Also, Bridget Baird from Senator Corker's office, Representative Tony Shipley, Representative Jeremy Faison, Senator Rusty Crowe, Adam Jarvis, who's one of our students who serves on the Tennessee Higher Education Commission. A number of years ago, we asked the question, what if? What if we created a facility to serve the needs of the region in downtown? Several years ago, we asked the question, what if we brought all of those resources together in the new facility behind us? Those what-if questions have defined who we are as an institution. I encourage you to continue to ask those what-if questions as we move through the process of the Committee for 125. Those what-if questions have made us who we are as an institution, and those what-if questions will provide the vision for us as we move forward. As we cut the ribbon for this new facility in a few minutes, and as the first patient is seen tomorrow morning, we realize that there is no dream that is too big. Thank you, Dr. Nearing, Dr. Shear, Dr. Bishop, Dr. Van Hook, and Dr. Stanton. particularly Dr. Stanton, for your leadership to make all of this possible. If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be here today. It's now my pleasure to introduce Mayor Jeff Behringer.
Thank you, Dr. Nolan. What a beautiful facility we have here. And on behalf of the City of Johnson City, I want to congratulate ETSU on this wonderful accomplishment. East Tennessee State University is the cornerstone of our community, and the Johnson City Community Health Center is just another example of the many contributions that ETSU makes to Johnson City. Times are tough, and healthcare is at the forefront of everyone's mind. And ETSU is leading the way to create more and better healthcare services for our citizens. I want to thank everyone who made this possible, not only at ETSU, but also at the federal, the state, and the local level. This progress is only possible through partnership, and we're very proud at the city to be a partner with East Tennessee State University. And now I want to introduce Dr. Wilsie Bishop, Vice President for Health Affairs and the Chief Operating Officer at ETSU. Dr. Bishop.
Thank you, Mayor Behringer. Well, it's wonderful to look around and see so many of our friends who've come here today to help us celebrate, and so many of you had such a part in making this happen. Thank you for all that you have done to get us to this point today. It is a long-awaited day, and in some ways the decision to have the celebration today is pretty historic. And you know, Dr. Nearing, Dr. Scherer, Dr. Stanton, Norlee, you all were here 2 years ago, Dr. Scherer, on October the 10th, October the 11th, 2010. Okay, 2 years ago today was when we stood in the President's conference room and we announced that we had received a $6.8 million grant. So that press conference also started at 10 a.m. There must be something about these 10s and 11s that work together. So I think October the 11th will be a significant day, and perhaps the birthday that we can celebrate forever of this significant clinic. During the past 2 decades, we have watched as the Johnson City Downtown Clinic has transformed health care for underserved and uninsured residents in our community. And as the doors to the Johnson City Community Health Center open today, we think about the future that it holds and what the possibilities might be. We think about the lives that might be touched. We see what this clinic has done in our community, but some of you may not realize that this facility will also become a national model. As you've already heard, we believe we are the only academic health center in the country that has this kind of interdisciplinary clinic where a patient can see a provider, have an x-ray, and receive medication and other therapies in one spot. We believe that what we're doing in interprofessional education and in interprofessional healthcare delivery will be a model for other academic health centers. We believe that our students are going to have educational experiences that are unique, that are truly value added, and that will make them highly sought after health professionals. And we believe that we're going to make a difference to the people of our community. So many people had a part in making this happen, and it's always dangerous to mention a few, but we wouldn't have had this facility without some the design ideas of Ken Ross. Thank you, Ken, and your associates. Merrick Construction, who've done a phenomenal job in the quality of the building that's here. If you want to know somebody who stayed on task on this from beginning to end, it was Ian Watson from our Department of Facilities, who was the construction manager for us, Bill Rasnick, Mike Smith with the Board of Regents, our purchasing department, Kathy Kelly, Francie Cannon, folks who actually have the responsibility to make this clinic continue to work, Richard Melke, Betsy Cappies. There's so many people who, for days, months, for 2 years, have been working to make this a possibility. The ideas and support of our faculty who are transitioning to this new kind of clinical care. The minds, the ideas, the energy, the hopes of so many people have come together Thank you to all, and to anyone whose name I left out. Know that your service is appreciated and will be rewarded. Thank you.
Well, Dr. Bishop, I love you. Let me just say a few words, not many, but you know, as we stand here on what I call the middle anchor or the MedTech corridor, across from the Johnson City Medical Center, I think back a couple of decades ago, 1990, I think Dean Ehring mentioned March 1990, was when the first downtown clinic was opened and dedicated. And I want to make sure you realize that in our midst is a very special person related to that. I asked her to sit beside me as Dr. Joellen Edwards. Joellen, would you stand just for a moment? I'd like for you to give her a round of applause. Dr. Edwards and Dr. Cindy Lentz came into my office, I guess about 1988, 89, and they says, what if we were to develop a clinic? And we talked in terms then of the homeless clinic, but the downtown clinic, which it became known for. And I says, well, let's try it, go for it. But she and Dr. Lentz and others of the time were the ones that made it happen. In fact, I was sometimes sort of taken aback by some of the pushback that nurses running a clinic. Yeah, nurses running a clinic. And Dr. Edwards, Dr. Lenz not only started this one, but also started one under the Kellogg grant, Mr. Behringer, in Mountain City, and one out in Rogersville. Things were just sort of coming together as people worked together. And what has happened is truly remarkable. And when you look back at this building today, that the current office holders, such as Dr. Nehring and Dr. Van Hook, have put together, and you look at a $7 million, $6.8 million, I'll round it off to $7 million, has put together. Who would have thunk it, as they say, in 1990? And Dr. Nolan, you have today a wonderful facility here. Thank you for what you're doing, and all the VIPs in this audience today for helping us to bring it together, because we went from 3 patients, I think 3 patients, Joellen, the first day the clinic opened in the basement of the Salvation Army, to thousands of patients and people being served today. We're in your debt. We owe you, and we appreciate everything that people in this room have brought together. God bless you, and thank you. And Dr. Bishop, I'm about to announce the next. I love Wilsie Bishop. I'm going to ask Dr. Nancy Shearer to come forward because her college has now joined with the College of Nursing. The College of Clinical and Rehabilitative Health Sciences will now make a partnership opportunity available. My daughter graduated in physical therapy here several years ago. If she were here today, she would appreciate what's about to happen in this great facility. So Dean Shearer, if you would please come forward. Thank you all. Have a great day.
Well, thank you, Dr. Stanton. I first of all would like to extend my thanks and appreciation to all my faculty and staff in both colleges, both College of Nursing and mine, for the amount of hours they put in getting this building ready today. Unpacking boxes, putting equipment together until late last night. So I really thank you for all of your efforts in helping getting us ready for this wonderful dedication day. The dedication of the Johnson City Community Health Center is really a milestone for our clinic and our college, and for the people in the region. Service to the community and interprofessional education, as Dr. Bishop talked about, are really two core values of ETSU, and they are major values in this new community health center. We join with the College of Nursing today to add allied health to primary care. This integration of allied health services to primary care in one facility will really provide our patients with an opportunity to receive one-stop care. We have integrated our diagnostic radiology program, as well as sonography or ultrasound, as well as many of our preventative services, as well as dental hygiene, clinical nutrition, and soon to integrate dental services as well. In addition, we're bringing our rehabilitation services, including audiology, speech-language pathology, respiratory therapy, and physical therapy to this building as well. So the clinic itself now will really provide our students with a wonderful opportunity to train together with other ETSU healthcare professionals and do that training before they graduate so that they can go out into the community and be fully functional in the new healthcare that we're evolving to currently. This model of integrated allied health and primary care training for students is really at the leading edge of our health disciplines now. So we really look forward to participating in this exciting new clinic with the College of Nursing and developing healthcare solutions for the future. Thank you. I now would like to introduce John Summers, who's a doctoral student in the College of Nursing.
As Dr. Shearer said, my name is John Summers, and I am in the second year of the 3-year BSN to Doctor of Nursing Practice program here at ETSU, and I'm in the Family Nurse Practitioner track. This semester, I'm in my 3rd semester of clinical time at the downtown clinic, and I will finish my pediatrics clinical at the new Johnson City Community Health Center. So first of all, I would like to thank Dr. Helene Holbrook, Carrie Lingerfelt, and Dr. Joanne Mars, who have all acted as my preceptors at the Johnson City Downtown Clinic. And I would also like to thank the nurses, interpreters, and staff at the JCDC, who have all helped to make my clinical time there such a remarkable experience. When I moved to this area from Pittsburgh in 2009, I began working as a bedside nurse at the Johnson City Medical Center, ER. Working there, I quickly became familiar with the invaluable role that the downtown clinic has played in the healthcare of this community as a federally qualified health center that focuses on serving the health needs of the uninsured or underinsured. When I entered this BSN to DNP program last year, I was very excited for the chance to have clinical education in some of ETSU's network of nurse-managed clinics, including the downtown clinic. One reason my experience at the downtown clinic has been so special to me is my family's own health history. East Liberty Family Health Care Center is a FQHC in Pittsburgh's East End, and my wife and I started going there as patients when we had no health insurance. And then even after we gained health insurance, we kept going to East Liberty because of the relationships we had formed there and the excellent health care that we had received. Over the course of 3 years, we had 2 children, and I learned firsthand just how valuable comprehensive primary care can be for a family's well-being. So with this personal knowledge of the important role such clinics play in any community, it has been a very special experience for me to begin growing into a new role of family nurse practitioner in primary care at the downtown clinic. And I am so very happy to see the JCDC expand to a new building and an increased community presence as the Johnson City Community Health Center. Now I'll turn the podium over to Congressman Phil Rowe, who recently received a Community Defender Award from the National Association of Community Health Centers for his support of community health centers. Thank you, John.
Thank you, John. And I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce Paul Stanton, who is the previous chairman of the Department of Surgery and emeritus president of East Tennessee State University. And I'm an old bluegrass musician, and there's a song, Paul, "Will You Miss Me When I'm Gone?" And Wilsie apparently not, so didn't even get introduced. So, well, I thank you all. What a glorious day, and what a glorious day God's given us to be here today. And I think back 35 years when I came to Johnson City, Tennessee. It was a much different looking community. I'll tell you a little bit about East Tennessee State University. Because of this great university that's here, a lot of what you see is here. There was no medical center. We knew a medical school was coming. Dr. Stanton came as a chief of surgery, and then later as dean of the medical school, and brought a vision with him that I think is second to none across the nation. And you see this community. I travel a lot, as you all know. You do not see communities like this around the country. You don't see cities of 60,000 people that have this sort of resource here. And I look here at the beautiful mountains and, of course, the medical center that's here, the university, and dream about what will be here 40 or 50 years from now. And I think about the vision that the College of Nursing had, and it really is unique. And it is unique around the country, and I think will serve as a model around the country to provide care for people who don't have it. I actually may be your first patient because of the way I've been feeling. When you shake as many hands as I do, you end up staying sick most of the time you're out traveling. So, but I look at this and I think about what patients who otherwise would not have access, and I think innovative concepts and ideas like this are what we're going to have to do across the nation, because the biggest problem with our healthcare system in America today is it costs too much money. It's too expensive. We have to learn a way to make it more affordable. And I'll finish by saying that this is a wonderful building and a beautiful building, but buildings don't provide the care, the people do. It's the people in it, the relationship, John, that you pointed out. That's what makes healthcare unique, is that relationship, that unique relationship between provider and patient. It's one I experienced for years, over 30 years here. It's one I cherish, and what I'll always be. I will tell you, if I had an opportunity to be a doctor, a provider, or a politician, that's easy. I put my scrub suit back on, and I go back to seeing patients. So what you do is unique. It's appreciated and makes our community a much better place. And I'm not going to forget to introduce our next speaker, Matthew Hill, who's a representative from the 7th District. Matthew.
Well, good morning to everyone, and thank you to Dr. Nolan for allowing me this honor and privilege to take just a few minutes to speak to you this morning. I always like to be a part of East Tennessee State University announcing good news, but today I think we're here to announce some great news, and that is the great news of this wonderful facility opening up. You are currently in the 7th Legislative District. The downtown clinic is in the 7th Legislative District, and many, many thousands of people that have been served over many years are my constituents, and I take that very seriously. To be able to provide the care to these individuals and these families, quality, top-notch care to these individuals and families, is so vitally important. And to be able to do it in this new facility and with the integration of care with the different disciplines here, it just takes it to the next level. I real quickly want to hone in on one part of the mission statement of the Johnson City Community Health Center, and that is when it talks about being accessible, and specifically access. As some of you may know, and many of you might not know, I am Vice Chairman of the House Health Committee for the Tennessee House of Representatives, and I'm Chairman of the House Health Subcommittee. And I was appointed to that position several years ago by the Speaker of the House, and I've tried my best in that leadership role to be very vigilant when it comes to, as Congressman Rowe pointed out, new concepts and new ideas when it comes to thinking outside the box for health care in the state of Tennessee. And specifically, it is a big deal with me, a huge deal, is access. Access to care for all of our citizens. And this building and the people inside this building that will start seeing patients tomorrow is a model, not only for our state, but for our nation, as we continue to face some big challenges as it pertains to healthcare on a national scale and on a statewide scale as well. When I think about access, we deal with issues in Nashville and on the health committee every single day. And I'll never forget, as long as I live, I had a lobbyist come to my office one time. They were advocating for a particular bill, health-related piece of legislation, and I said, well, let me ask you a question. I said, how are my constituents in Telford going to be able to get this particular kind of service? And they looked at me and they said, well, we know you're really big on access, Chairman Hill, but they can just get in a car and go to Knoxville. And I said, no, they can't. And it's that type of attitude that unfortunately is pervasive in certain parts of the state, but not here in Johnson City, not here in Washington County. And this is a model for access. This is a model for accessibility to all people, not only here in Johnson City and here in Washington County, but all across our region. And to be able to do it under the banner of East Tennessee State University is something that this region should be extremely proud of, because I am always proud of East Tennessee State University, and I always know when I get that little card in the mail from Dr. Nolan saying, hey, would you like to come to another fill in the blank, I know that it's going to be great. I know that it's going to be wonderful, and it is another gem in the crown of not ETSU, but of Northeast Tennessee. Congratulations on all your hard work and on this wonderful accomplishment of providing access to wonderful care here in Northeast Tennessee. Congratulations.
Bruce, you want me to introduce you?
Dr. Stanton, you're next. I'm sorry. We have here, we're very blessed to have, can we call you hometown? Can we call you hometown guy? You so hometown, I forgot. But Bruce Behringer is the Deputy Commissioner for the Tennessee Department of Health, and let me tell you something. The Tennessee Department of Health, under Dr. Dreisner and Mr. Behringer, and you've all read in the papers and are very aware of what's going on in our state right now, we have a top-notch staff that is dealing with the challenges and also the good things like what's happening today. We have a wonderful partner, whether we remember to introduce them or not. We have a wonderful, wonderful partner here in Johnson City and Washington County when it comes to the Department of Health and the state of Tennessee. And so with my sincere apologies, here's Bruce Behringer.
Not a problem. I think I know most of the people in the room. Thank you very much for the invitation. I want to bring a note of warm congratulations for the opening of the new facility from Dr. Dreisner, the Commissioner of Health, and Dr. Reagan, the Chief Medical Officer from the Tennessee Department of Health. They're a little busy right now with things that are happening across the country and in Tennessee, unfortunately, and have been leading a group of epidemiologists and public health nurses in helping to protect the health of the people of Tennessee during this fungal meningitis outbreak. I want to point out the important role that the health department has been playing and the readiness that they have shown, including people from regional offices like the one from Northeast Tennessee here led by Fred Adams, and the county health departments led by people like Tim Carson all across the state. In the midst of the wealth of the healthcare industry that surround us here at this site, as well as all across Tennessee and as all across the country, the Johnson City Community Health Center stands to remind us all that there's still people who need help. Today we should be reminded, each of us, that ourselves and our families are one injury, one illness, one job loss, or one unsettling event away from needing this type of assistance ourselves. The dedication of this structure mirrors the dedication of some insightful and caring women, yes, nurses, who birthed this project. They found and created relationships and an extensive and impressive set of community suitors. The College of Nursing has always been very skillful in meeting the true meaning of the word collaboration, leading change through altering activities, sharing resources, and enhancing the capacity of not only the college but also their partners toward a common purpose. The fact that the College of Clinical and Rehabilitative Health Sciences and the other clinical training opportunities from ETSU can be integrated into a building such as this is a testament to that collaboration. Because I worked with community health centers for 15 years before I came to ETSU in 1992, I could not stand before you without recognizing the tenacious role that the volunteer community board members have played in guiding this project through difficult times. Community leaders have supported the college and have been innovative advocates in helping to gain community understanding and resources. None of this is terribly surprising to those who've worked with community health centers and the community health center movement. The federal program, with its community roots, is proud of the political and financial support that has been received by people like Congressman Roll and some long-term strange bedfellows, Lyndon Baines Johnson and Richard Nixon, Ted Kennedy and George W. Bush. They've all supported this program across the country, and it's because people have never forgotten what it's all about, to care for people in need, to be an efficient and effective part of the safety net, and at some point in time, all of us may need. The Johnson City CHC is also part of the state of Tennessee's network of clinics that are providing safety net programs to assure primary care for uninsured adults, and our General Assembly needs to be thanked and reminded how important this really has been for the state. And because of the almost 20 years I enjoyed at ETSU, I know the important role that the university and health science leaders have played in articulating and living the mission of a regional university, which the center is the newest example, being not just in the mountains, but of the mountains, drawing strength from the caring culture of Appalachian communities in its service, and continuously refreshing its commitment and accountability to a region wealthy in so many ways and underserved in others. Congratulations to those who are involved, and I hope that your continued success continues to help Dr. Nolan and the new leadership to move the university forward to continue to be the regional university, the best regional university in the country, right? You got it.
Must be a trend to forget the next person. I'm Nora Lee. I'm the current chair of the governing board of the community health centers. And I can't begin to tell you how exciting it is to be the last speaker on the program. This allows me the opportunity to keep my remarks short so that we can move on to the purpose of this day, which is the opening and touring of this beautiful facility, the Johnson City Community Health Center. One point that I really would like to make is that this new clinic, as well as the Johnson City Downtown Clinic throughout its history, is the perfect example of how partnerships between the university and the community can benefit the entire region. This clinic started as the Johnson City Downtown Clinic 22 years ago as a partnership, and it has evolved into this point, to the state-of-the-art facility behind us through that continued partnership with the community. Like everyone else here, over the next few weeks, I'm going to be learning a new acronym, JCCHC. It replaces JCDC, which has become almost familiar as my name. But even with the new name, even with the new acronym, the facility is the continuation of that heritage that began in 1990. On behalf of the governing board, I offer thanks to the men and women who provide patient care at the JCCHC, to the leaders of ETSU who brought this dream to fruition, and to the members of the community that share in this partnership. Thank you to everyone here for coming out today for this special celebration.